Hello, welcome from the South. I'm Luis Alberto Matos from the teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. The state prosecutor in Bolivia, Cesar Siles, offered details about the failed coup d'etat in the country. There are currently 24 people implicated in the case labeled as coup d'etat 3, although a total of 70 are under investigation. During an interview, the prosecutor assured that in the hearings of precautionary measures, 6 formal charges have been presented. He also revealed that during these judicial processes, important elements were revealed related to the authorship of crimes that imply sentences of up to 25 years of imprisonment. These were obtained both through the statements of the accused and in various raids. The Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro presented a completely remodeled integral diagnostic center, La Urbina, located in the Petare parish of the state of Miranda. This was the largest health center built by Commander Hugo Chavez in this sector. The center has modern medical attention and hospitalization services and is oriented to provide attention to more than 12,500 families of the area. The head of state highlighted that work such as these are made possible thanks to the guidelines of the so-called 1x10 of the Good in Government, a social program that attends to different problems in the country. At the end of this activity, the people of Miranda welcomed the presidential candidate of the Great Patriotic Ball. With a great congregation, the people of the Petare parish raised slogans reaffirming their support to the candidacy of the current Venezuelan president and condemned the unilateral sanctions of the United States. In this context, Maduro reaffirmed his position in defense of democracy. The statement of the Colombian irregular armed group Autodefensas Conquistadores de la Sierra Nevada came after the same Colombian paramilitary group denounced contacts with Venezuelan far-right with the objective of generating violence and attacks in the middle of Venezuela's electoral process. Our correspondent Leonel Retamal with the details.
On its X account, the Colombian irregular armed group Autodefensas Conquistadores de la Sierra Nevada denounced that they were contacted by the extremist Venezuelan opposition to generate acts of violence in Venezuela and make an attempt on the life of President Maduro. This group, also known as the Pachencas, is an armed group that emerged after the demobilization of a fraction of Las Autodefensas Unidas de Colombia.
Our units in the Department of La Guajira have been contacted by the extreme right groups from Venezuela to destabilize the government of the Republic of Venezuela. The interlocutors have made all kinds of requests, among them to attack the Venezuelan electrical infrastructure, to act against the candidate president Nicolás Maduro, to act in case he is re-elected by infiltrating protests and generating chaos in the streets.
The Venezuelan president reacted to this accusation by requesting an investigation of those involved. The video is known one day before the beginning of the electoral campaign and a little more than 3 weeks before the elections.
We are in a battle for the right to peace, for the right to peace, the right to peace, and no one is going to spoil Venezuela, I assure you.
The Attorney General instructed to investigate this complaint as soon as possible.
It is undoubtedly an attack against peace, against the Constitution, against the Venezuelan legal system, but also against the Venezuelan people. All this, and this is the most serious, within the framework of an electoral process, where some minority sectors of the right wing, aligned with the White House, have already considered fraud in case they are not favored by the will of the people.
They wanted to kill me over and over again, and they couldn't.
Venezuelan authorities have denounced 9 conspiracies, including assassination attempts or attempts against political leaders in the last time, 5 during 2023 and 4 during this year, the most recent on March 25, during the registration of Maduro's candidacy in the CNE. Despite the constant security and counterintelligence measures, some plots saw the light of day, such as the attempted assassination with drones in 2018 and the Gideon operation in 2020.
At other times, the political situation of the country has been much more delicate, much more complex. The actions of these sectors have been very avid and with enormous logistics. All this with less experience of entering this scenario, the security forces have neutralized it.
Although The possibility of political violence has been eradicated among the bulk of the population and political actors. There are remnants that still aspire to confrontation between Venezuelans.
The agenda of violence in this country is discarded by most political actors, as well as by the Venezuelan society.
Political forces continue their course of campaigning, while President Maduro has insisted on alerting social organizations to avoid scenarios of violence.
TeleSUR, Caracas, Venezuela.
Meanwhile, the election campaign in Venezuela continues. Our correspondent Yunus Soner visited the neighborhood of Petare in Caracas and interviewed the people, while President Nicolas Maduro held a campaign rally. Here's what the inhabitants of Petare said.
Today we are visiting Petare in the eastern part of Caracas, Venezuela, one of the biggest barrios, roughly to be translated slums, of entire Latin America. Its full name being Dulce Nombre de Jesús de Petare, the neighborhood is home to approximately 500,000 to 700,000 people. And it has received today the president of the Bolivian Republic of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, to hold a speech here. We asked the residents what they are thinking about the upcoming elections in Venezuela on 28th of July.
We see the joy of the people, the youngsters, the women, the elders. It is incredible. Despite the blockade and the economic warfare, there is conscious people supporting on the streets our Bolivarian revolution. With great happiness, love, great enthusiasm I see in these elections, and I swear to God, with our people, our brother Maduro continues to be the same person and will be elected by our people with the same joy and the love of all of Venezuela.
Petare is a popular neighborhood, a poor neighborhood, and its citizens are struggling hard to earn their keep. Still, they show a high degree of consciousness, including in international matters and regarding the U.S. pressure against Venezuela.
No, la expectativa que tengo es que nuestro presidente se queda.
We expect that our president stays, because a lot of things happened here in Venezuela, and he has been the president who has taken the things at hand. We don't say we're good because of the effects of the blockade, but we are in better shape than before. Here in Venezuela, we have resisted and struggled at the side of our president. Things were very difficult in 2015, very difficult. We had to wait in line for hours to get food, but step by step, we are overcoming the crisis with the support of our president.
Venezuela is not Libya, it's not Macri, it's not Argentina. Here we are reconfirming the people's struggle. We will win.
And then came President Nicolas Maduro to Petare. He arrived here with thousands of people waiting for him under hot sun.
We are supporting our president Nicolas Maduro consequently. With Maduro, the revolution progresses. He is our only candidate who supports the people. All our progress comes from his hands.
Maduro, estamos contigo, te defendemos.
Maduro, we are with you, we defend the Bolivarian revolution, whatever it takes. We are here and carry the legacy of Hugo Chavez.
The people of Petare expressed their support to Nicolas Maduro ahead of the presidential elections, July 28. Yunus Soner, Caracas, Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
This Sunday, the 24th Ordinary Meeting of the Council of the Common Market Mercosur was held in Paraguay, where the attending foreign ministers discussed methods of progress with third countries. During the gathering, it was officially unveiled that for the last time in its government's term, Uruguay will assume the pro tempore presidency of the alliance. The country's foreign minister, Omar Paganini, said that they will base the exercise on free access to move forward in the next 6 months, the improvement of the free trade zone, the logistic infrastructure of transport and connectivity, and the deepening of an external agenda for a better international insertion. Uruguay has described Mercosur's external agenda as critical for its government. Let's take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and much more. For the stories coming up, stay with us. Welcome back. French Prime Minister Gabriel Attal arrived Monday morning at the Élysée Palace to tender his resignation to President Emmanuel Macron. The Prime Minister announced his resignation on Sunday after the far-right's defeat in the legislative elections. So far, President Macron, unlike his right-hand man, Gabriel Attal and Marine Le Pen's extremist formation, has not commented on the results. The new Popular Front could have won between 180 and 215 seats. Its leader Jean-Luc Mélenchon called on the head of state to entrust them with the formation of a government. Mélenchon added that it was Macron's duty to call on the new Popular Front to govern.
No estamos listos para entrar.
We are not ready to enter into prayers with his departure to make combinations, especially after having shared tirelessly after 7 years his policy of social mistreatment, of ecological denunciation. The French people, I come to confirm the good reasons in which we must do, especially after the vote spoke, after which Popular Front, despite all the challenges of all the defamations of all the insults, we have the victory today that the people have given us.
Coalition leader Jean-Luc Mélenchon stressed that the President Emmanuel Macron has a duty to call on the new Popular Front to govern.
He has to admit his defeat without trying to manipulate or change it in any way. The Prime Minister must. Who never received the confidence of the National Assembly, comes from leading the campaign lost by his party and received a massive popular challenge vote. The President must and has a duty to call the new Popular Front to govern.
The Secretary General of the Socialist Party, Olivier Faure, assured that it is time to continue building the nation.
The danger of the far right of the national grouping was confronted. We must continue to fight on the great axes. It is time to continue building the nation. There is a moment before and after this July. In the coming days it will be the role of the Popular Front and of this our center, and the socialist family to reform a collective project of our country.
The leader of the National Rally Party, Jordan Bardella, thanked the people for their participation and serenity before the election results.
The French people have spoken, marking this election with a historical participation rate. French people have honored democracy. I want to thank the voters of the national grouping and its allies for the patriotic attitude they expressed. I thank them for their mobilization, constancy, but above all serenity in the face of this result.
After the results were released, leaders from several nations reacted following the victory of the left. President of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, expressed on his X account congratulations to the new Popular Front that achieved a great historic victory in the parliamentary elections in France. Maduro sent greetings to the French people, to the social movements and their popular forces for this important civic day that strengthens union and peace. On behalf of Venezuela, Maduro sent them a big Bolivarian embrace. On the other hand, Colombian President Gustavo Petro said on his account on the social media X, "There are battles that last only a few days, but in them the fate of humanity is defined. France has fought one of these battles, the Popular Front has won. The Nazis retreat, humanity has a new opportunity. Congratulations to French progressivism. On her behalf, President of Honduras, Xiomara Castro, congratulated both the French and the British people. On her X account, she posted, "Europe advances. The Labour Party has triumphed in the United Kingdom, and now in France, a coalition of progressive forces has stopped the far right and its threats. Congratulations to the English and French people for defending the rights and freedom of the people." Brazilian President Lula da Silva expressed his happiness on the victory of the Labour Party. Through his X account, he said, "I'm very happy with the demonstration of greatness and maturity of the political forces in France that have united against extremism in today's legislative elections. These results, like the victory of the Labour Party in the United Kingdom, reinforces the importance of dialogue between progressive segments in defense of democracy and social justice. They should serve as an inspiration for South America." We have a final short break coming up, but before we invite you to join our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience. You can scan the QR code on screen to join directly, share the link to reach more people. Constant news coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean as well as the rest of the world. Final short break, don't go away. Welcome back. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday night presented a list of non-negotiable demands for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and the release of hostages by Hamas. The four demands include a guarantee that Israel can resume military operations in the Palestinian enclave until all war aims are achieved, that no arms traffic from Egypt to Gaza will be allowed, and it is stated that Israel will maximize the number of live hostages for the release from Hamas captivity. The points announced by Netanyahu angered mediators as well as representatives of Israeli security agencies and the Israeli opposition, with one security official quoted by the Times of Israel accusing the Israeli head of government of undermining the agreement by making excuses until July 24th, the date of Israel's address to the U.S. Congress and the recess of the Israeli parliament. The newly elected Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer, confirmed on Sunday that he remains firm in his intention to recognize the state of Palestine in line with the campaign principles of the Labour Party. Starmer spoke by telephone with the President of the Palestinian National Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, and during the dialogue, the British politician maintained that his policy on the recognition of Palestine has not changed and that it is the undeniable right of all Palestinians. Starmer conveyed to Abbas that his priorities for the region include promoting further international efforts to achieve a ceasefire, the return of the remaining hostages in Gaza, increasing humanitarian aid, supporting the Palestinian National Authority financially through the release of Palestinian tax funds withheld by Israel, and getting the occupation forces to withdraw completely from the Gaza Strip. In other news, on Monday, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi departed for Russia. Commenting on details of the Man-National Summit, the Prime Minister celebrated the positive impact of the alliance on various sectors of the country. Modi highlighted progress in areas such as energy, trade, investment, health and tourism between his country and Russia. These aspects and many others will be discussed at the 22nd Russia-India Summit. On Saturday, President Vladimir Putin explained that the agenda will be very extensive, and although he avoided making reference to the issue of Ukraine, he did not rule it out. The Indian leader ratified that he is committed to a peaceful and stable region. And in the world of sports, the semifinals of the 2024 Copa America have been confirmed as favorites. Argentina, Colombia, Uruguay, as well as Canada are still in competition. In the semi-finals round, Lionel Messi's Argentina facing Canada will be defending the title that they won for the 15th time in Brazil in 2021, while Uruguayan team will meet Colombia. On the part of Uruguay, must be stressed that they take its 16th trophy of this event in 45 appearances, as Colombia has shown for many the best football in the current tournament, led by former Real Madrid James Rodriguez. On the other hand, Canada, who will host the next FIFA World Cup, is without doubt the revelation team, as it has advanced to the semi-finals in its first ever participation. We have come to the end of this news brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. So join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Luis Alberto Matos. Thank you for watching.